one.
Hi, everyone. This is Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. My special guests are the Stampinis, Mark and Kristin Stampini from Boca Raton, Florida, longtime Craig Proctor members. And today, they're going to help you make some money by helping you be more easily found online. So welcome, Mark and Kristin. Thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
Hey, you guys are doing a great job. When I met you, things weren't going so well. And now you've got investment properties all over the place, selling lots of real estate. You've got your virtual assistant company happening. A lot of great things have happened over the last couple of years. And that's because you and Mark made it happen. You didn't sit around and feel sorry for yourself. Yeah, you might have for a little while maybe, but you really are. I'm so proud of all the accomplishments, everything that you guys have done, and all the help and support. Kristin's a Craig Proctor coach. She has been for a long time, and successful realtor, investor, and just an entrepreneurial person. And she could not do that without Mark, who is equal in all those tasks. And they both have very unique skills and complement each other so well. So thank you so much for doing this today. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to learn on the Craig Proctor show today.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say to you, Craig, none of this could have happened without you. So Mark wasn't in the situation, but when I started with the Craig Proctor system and everything else, myself, Mark was doing his own thing. As you know, I was bankrupt and broke, and without Craig's 100% over the last 10 years, actually 11 years, he has just been the best mentor and coach in the world, and nothing could have happened today. Actually, I'm at our investment property, one of them now, but that could never have happened without Craig. So I just wanted to let you know, thank you for every single thing you've done for us, and never would have happened.
Well, that's really nice. It obviously, being a real estate coach and mentor, that makes me, feel nice and warm inside. And that's why I do this. I really love the success stories and the growth. Really just watching you and Mark grow, and you've really taken every opportunity. Yes, I gave you the things to do, the ideas, the environment, but you definitely rose to the occasion. And you've become best friends with hundreds of Craig Proctor members, and you've been a big influence on them, and they've been a big influence on you as well.
Absolutely. And, now that we have our own brokerage, which is, your home sold guaranteed brokerage from Craig, it's been just a game changer in every way. And everybody's such good friends. That's what's so awesome, because you brought in so many great members into the Craig Proctor system, and they become our best friends for sure.
Hey, let's bring Mark into this conversation now. Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. So how do you and Kristin split up the work that you do, being a married couple and not just in real estate? I mean, you've got several businesses going on. How do you decide what each other's going to do? How do you, be so successful and keep all the wheels turning and separate all this work that needs to be done?
Well, it's not easy, but it's, we kind of figure out, once we figure out what's good, who's good at this and who's good at that, we kind of delegate that way. Mm-hmm. So, she's much more, has a personality, and I have no personality. Like, I'm like as dry as, we go pick a property and I want white paint. I just want white, plain Jane, paint the whole house white. And she's like, no, I want a blue, a yellow. So I let her handle that part, or, anything with motivation, because I'm just like, show up and work straight keel. So that's the big part, is figure out what you're good at and try to stick to that.
You guys basically are like, your strengths are all the things that Kristin doesn't like to do. And Kristin's strengths are the things that you really don't like to do. So it's almost like when you two met, you interviewed each other. It's like, okay, what we're looking for is someone with like the opposite skill set. So together, you're very, very powerful. All right, you guys have been so innovative and such great implementers with the system, and then helping me coach thousands of realtors over the years be able to do what you're doing so successfully in Boca Raton, Florida. Let's talk about Google searches, how important that is. And Mark, I know you've talked before about, well, this is just how people find things today, not just real estate, but everything.
Yeah. So like, I mean, when somebody goes and they're going to look for whether it's a plumber, whether it's an attorney, whether it's whatever, the 90%, 95% go to Google. And then, so what we're focused on is when we talk about Google My Business is local search SEO. So we're not going to try to get the person. If I'm in Boca Raton, I really don't need a seller or a buyer in Los Angeles. Like I want the person selling in Boca. So it's local, and which allows me to beat the bigger companies that are out there that, you know, are marketing all around the United States or all into Canada, whatever else. I'm only focused on this, and allows me to beat them. And so what people do is when they search, they'll scroll down, they'll skip the ads. So a lot of people are paying for ads or whatever else. They're going to skip them, and they go right to the local search map. And right there in the local search map is we want to be at the top or as close to the top as possible.
All right. How many of you watching this right now would 100% agree with what Mark just said? Okay. When you're searching, just think of yourself as a consumer, and I don't know, you're looking for whatever, a restaurant or whatever you're looking for. How many of you agree it's just easy to go to Google? We're just trained to go to Google to check it out, read the ratings, and you're going to scroll past the ads. How many of you agree with that? That most of this will scroll down below the ads, and then you've got the little map, and then you've got a list of the services, okay, the companies on that little map, and then they all have ratings. And how many of you would look at that and you would say, well, I can't call them all. Let's look at who's at the top and who's got the most 5-star reviews. And pretty much the decision is made as to who you're going to call. I think, right? I don't know. Maybe some of you don't do that. Maybe some of you are still using the yellow pages. I'm sure, if I'm looking for a painter, I could be referred a painter. But I just did this. Mark, like you, I'm renovating a house right now. I said to Mark, Kristin, I've never had so many arguments with my wife than over a renovation. So I'm looking for a painter, and that's exactly how I did it. Well, I actually knew a couple of good painters, but they were all, anybody good was so maxed out. I couldn't get them, the people I knew, for a month or two, and I need someone now. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to find somebody that's good, not by referral, someone I've never known before? And that's what Mark just said is exactly what I did. Yeah. I Googled painters near me, and boom, it came up, and I'm looking at the reviews, and it enabled me to narrow it down and find a painter. So how can we do this though as real estate agents? Because you're right there, Mark. We're competing against the Zillows, the players, the big companies, the Remaxes, the Keller Williams. How do we as individual realtors beat them at this game in the local market? And the local market is all we care about, right? We don't, like you said, we're not looking for buyers across the country. We want buyers locally. First of all, how did you guys you're really good at this. How did you stumble onto this and perfect this? Because this is something that you teach to our members. How did you guys first stumble on and become so successful at it?
Okay, I'll take that one. But did you tell them about our giveaway at the end? If they go all the way through, did you tell them?
Yeah, no, I didn't. So yeah, everybody wants to wait till the very end because we're not going to just talk about this. We're actually going to show you. We're going to give you tangible things. We're going to show you. We're going to have a link here. We're going to have you go to where you're going to be able to download some. Why don't you tell them what they're going to be able to download? So don't leave before we get to the end of this, so we can share these valuable bonus gifts with you.
We're going to show you how to optimize your Google My Business, and let me just give you a couple stats. So Mark was looking at our Google My Business. This is when you were asking who does what, right? So I'm pretty much the visionary of everything and set up the systems and processes and everything else. And then we split the task, like Mark was saying. So one of the things he does is he really studies all of our things. And we're going to talk obviously about Google My Business. And he was noticing that like just from 2 weeks ago, we had 2 incoming calls that went under contract from 2 weeks ago. That's how awesome Google My Business is. And guess what?
Literally, our Google My Business last week, we had a call come in the morning. We set an appointment. The OSA met with them the same day and wrote a contract that night. So
that's amazing.
Less than 24 hours, and they got it accepted. So all within less than 24 hours, it went under contract from a call from Google My Business that came in.
Right. Totally trackable. So you know that specifically came from Google My Business. That's cool.
So how it started, you were asking, Craig, how Google My Business started was just a couple of years ago, right? We had come across somebody who was really talking about Google My Business and how important it was. And I always knew it was so important because every time we ever traveled, we would always, or wanted to find something, we would always Google it, right? But I never thought it was for realtors. I never thought it was like something that realtors would benefit from like we do. So a couple of years ago is really when we started it, and we optimized our Google My Business. So you just go in, you claim it, you optimize it, and we're going to give you that at the end. But the thing is once
how easy or difficult is it to do that?
Easy, right, Mark?
Yeah. I mean, it's set up. So Google has it set up for you to just go in and set it up. And then from there, you're going to optimize it. It takes a couple minutes. Okay.
So when you say optimize it, because I never knew what that meant before you guys started talking about this, a year or two ago, and you helped me optimize mine. So if you Google Craig Proctor, you see what we're talking about. But what do you share with everybody what that means? Optimize my Google My Business.
So the first thing you got to do is you got to claim your business, okay? And you go in and you put your business name in and you claim it on Google. Then you have categories. So anything that your business is in categories, I believe, what is it? Up to 13, Mark, or 12 categories?
I mean, you just want to do every category that is with your industry. So for real estate, we're only going to focus on, because they give you pre-selected categories. So you're only going to select those categories, but you need to do everything. So I tell the story of the Taco Bell. So we're by a Taco Bell, our office is. And Taco Bell, if you type in vegetarian restaurants near me, so I'm in my office, so Taco Bell will always show up. And there's an actual restaurant across the street from them that has a whole menu. So they have a whole menu, but they have one page that is just vegetarian. They won't show up. Yeah. And it's because Taco Bell went into the categories, and one of the categories they have is vegetarian restaurant. Yeah. And I don't know that, like Taco Bell, I don't know what they're serving that's vegetarian, but they have a few things. And that restaurant right there that across the street is missing out on all those people, because if you're a vegetarian and you're right here on the Boca Del Rey border, you type in vegetarian restaurant. Yeah, I'm not even going to consider it.
Right. And the other restaurant that actually has a vegetarian menu didn't do that. Right. So that's how important it is. So really, if you win the Google My Business game, you've got a situation here with this example where Taco Bell actually can cater to more vegetarians than the vegetarian restaurant because of Google search. So that's a great example.
Then you do your business description. Okay. And you're adding photos, and it literally walks you through it. And we're going to give it all to you. If you stay on through the end, we are going to give this all to you. Then,
Silver Platter. How's that, folks? Silver Platter. Most of these podcasts, it's like talk, but nobody actually gives you what you need to do it. So we're going to give it to you, but it's going to be at the end, so you got to stay. But this is all the build up to know why it's important. Like just giving you something without explaining how to do it and why it's important would kind of be a waste of time. So that's what we're going to talk about for the next bit here. Then we're going to show you how to get it. So you do your you create your profile. Now, what should you be saying about yourself? Are there certain things that you should or should not be saying?
Well, use keywords. So when you're describing your business and you're adding photos and everything else in your business description, make sure that you're using keywords that you even want to rank for locally. So everything that you're doing, which is a whole nother podcast about local SEO that maybe we'll do in the future, but that's what you're doing, is you are literally optimizing your Google My Business. You're feeding your Google My Business every day, or, a couple times a week at least. And then you're thinking of everything as local SEO, because in real estate, now, Craig, you're a coach, right? You don't need local SEO because you coach everybody around North America.
I'm worldwide.
But for real estate, you want to be local SEO, and that's what you do. So you're putting in, your keywords that you want to rank. You also are adding pictures of your business. You're adding pictures of yourself. People want to get to know you, because it was a study. Mark pulled it up, and he was doing a study on Google My Business. We found it so interesting. And it was so funny because Mark's like, you got to listen to this, Kristin. So we're in the car, I'm listening to it, and I'm doing it as I'm the passenger, but I'm doing what they said, and I'm doing it exactly like the, what are they called, Mark?
It's a focus group.
The focus group. And how I look at Google My Business. They skip over the ads and they go right to the local search map. And then they look at how many reviews you have, how long you've been in service, et cetera. And then they go and they look at it. They want to see if you have like a negative review. They want to go and look at it and just see make sure it was responded to, but how you responded to it. Right. And so, people will not like your business. Sometimes it just happens. People will leave, because on Google My Business, it's almost impossible, as Craig and us know, that to get negative reviews removed. So it's the way you're handling the reviews. But then what they do, the second thing is what they'll do is they will go, but they will skip over again the ads. So they're skipping over the ads to go to the Google Map, the local SEO, the Google My Business. So they're looking at all of that. So you got to make sure in Google My Business, it's amazing. They allow you to add photos and videos and ads, and everything's for free. Everything.
Yeah, it's your lane, it's your homepage. So that's what Google's trying to get it in, is they want to be your homepage. If I'm looking for, Kristin Stampini Boca Raton, Google's like, I'm your homepage now. And so that's how you have to look at it, is like, that's what they're going to. And then
now, not many realtors think of it that way.
No.
Right. Like they're not really thinking in those terms that my Google My Business page is my homepage. But it makes so much sense, because people aren't going on to Facebook searching for a realtor, but people are every day, all of us, going to Google searching for whatever. So what type of things do you load up? You said, Kristin, I think you used the terminology, I have to feed it 3 times a week. What are you feeding this thing 3 times a week?
Well, so we're always obviously looking for reviews, number one. In your reviews, if you can get keywords in your reviews of what you want localized, is always good too. So you ask your clients, and if you're a realtor and you have a bunch of reviews on Zillow, you can't transfer those. So just go back to those clients and ask them if they can put their same review onto Google My Business. Right. And so you always want to be giving the reviews, number one. You want to be updating pictures all the time. So pictures of the homes that you're working and that, about your business, personal things, doing an open house, whatever it is. Then videos. So Craig, what do you teach us all the time about marketing? You're always teaching us to do what?
Well, you got to be creating content. You got to be using video, because video is the new thing. And, that's really all I'm doing right now. I'm creating content. So for example, this podcast will be sliced and diced. It will be all over online. So this is just a habit that you and Mark have got into. You're creating content that's of interest to buyers and sellers. And then you have virtual assistants that help you. Like, you're just basically like the talent. You come in, right? You come in and they shoot the video, and then you have this vision. You've designed what's going to happen after the fact, and other people take care of that for you.
Right. So even if you're doing a blog, so blog's a great thing. So if you're doing blogs, let's say Blogs are great for local SEO. So if you're doing blogs and you're doing a couple real estate blogs a month, and then you're doing a couple local things on the local businesses or charities or whatever you're doing, and you're doing, let's say 4 blogs a month, those are perfect. And you can actually make those into videos as well. So Craig is always teaching us about marketing and how to do marketing. So what we do is we take a lot of his materials and we use them on Google My Business. Go and search Kristin Stampini, Kristin and Mark Stampini on Google My Business, and you're going to see what we're doing. We're always adding different things to Google My Business. But now, what do we always want to do? And get our phone to ring, right? Getting our phone to ring is the best thing that you can do. Instead of us having to chase after new leads on the internet or anything else, which we all do, I'm sure, what is better is to have incoming phone calls of people that have gotten to know us on Google My Business.
Way better. How many watching this would agree that it's getting so difficult to reach prospects, even prospects that respond to any of your marketing? They respond and you're playing phone tag with them, or they won't pick up the phone. Way better if we can get them calling us than us chasing them. Especially many of you are buying leads. You're buying leads from Zillow or Realtor. And are they even real leads? Is this just scraped? Like, lots of people like to look at houses, right? Doesn't mean they're going to buy one. But these prospects are shopping. They've Googled real estate in your area and they're calling you. So how many of you would like an inbound, hey, I'm thinking of listing my house call? That's what this is about.
Mark just went and took a listing from the same thing. So we are getting so many, once you start getting really good at this, and we use a tracking system. So what you've taught us, Craig, in real estate from the get-go, track, test. And then, so we have literally a phone number that's just used for Google My Business. So we can track every incoming call from Google My Business. And then it's coming.
So when it comes in, we have it tracked, but then also it'll whisper to us. It'll be like, Google My Business. And so it whispers in that, hey, this call's from Google My Business. So we know, hey, it's an inbound call, where they came from. And then afterwards, it'll tell us as well to do it. So that's how we were able to track yet last week, like when the person, our ISA, answered her inbound phone call, and she's like, oh, this person came from Google My Business, set the appointment. The agent met with them at noon. By 6 o'clock, they were under contract.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, let's get to this bonus here and show everybody how they can actually download use for material so you can master Google My Business. We want to do that. Also, let me know in the comments right now if you found this helpful. Okay, let me know in the comments if you found this helpful. And also, let me know if you agree with the premise here that Google is the way to go. How many of you are having success with this right now? That would be interesting too. Let us know in the comments if you're already doing this, but you want to learn how to do a better job. Okay, you want to learn how to do a better job optimizing your profile, feeding this thing, making it better. If you're already doing this, let us know how you're doing. And if you're not doing it, we're going to show you how to do it right now. So in the comments, we're going to have a link. And let's talk about this bonus item, why it's valuable. Why would I want to click on the link, download these materials? What's it going to do for me, Kristin?
And literally what it's going to do is it's going to literally walk you through the steps of how to do it. So it's going to take you and guys, you don't have to be tech savvy. You don't have to it literally is going to say, okay, 1, put in your phone number. 2, put in your name. 3, describe your business. 4, this is your categories of your business. 5, this is how to add a review. 6, this is how to add a photo. 7, this is how to do that. It's literally going to take it and it's going to make it that simple.
I'm thinking I know the answers to all those questions. This doesn't sound that difficult.
It's not that difficult. And it's going to take you through. And I'm going to tell you that Craig has always taught us, one thing that he's always taught us is don't depend on all the companies out there like Zillow. Zillow, there's so many people that relied on Zillow for 100% of their business besides past clients or referrals. And Zillow, as most of you know, has changed their game. Now they're competing against you because they are a real estate business. And number two is they've changed the lead. So they've taken them all away from a lot of areas, and that you have to pay a certain percentage, and you don't even get to pay in some areas around the country for Zillow.
So you can't even get their leads in many parts of the country. Yeah, look, as if you've been following Craig Proctor, hanging around with me over the years, you know, I'm a big advocate of being responsible for your own marketing, being your own marketing director. You know, realtors get into trouble when they abdicate marketing. They don't really delegate. Delegating, it's fine, because what you do is delegate. You understand it all. You're involved in it, and you have people that help you. That's true delegation. But Kristin, we see many realtors who they're like, well, I don't want to learn about it. I'm just going to buy leads here or there. And when Zillow changes the game, they got a problem, right? No, the most important function I believe that we all have as realtors is being our own marketing director. So that's what we want to help you with here today. If you haven't set up your Google My Business profile, it's really easy, right? Maybe you have set up your profile, your Google My Business profile, and I don't know, maybe your profile is lame. We should talk about that too. Like, what if I set it up and no one's calling me? And if like you look at so many realtors Google My Business profiles and they haven't optimized it, they haven't done anything with it at all, which means they're not going to get phone calls. So not only are we going to teach you how to set up your Google My Business profile if you haven't done that already, but then the feeding of it, the setting it up, the optimizing it. Let's talk about that.
So Mark, go ahead. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. So, I mean, Kristin went over it, the categories and everything else, but then each month, so at Google, they'll put you up there at the top. So you can see it on your phone, you can see it on your desktop, whatever it is. And it's products. And in your products, you can put a lot of things. But number one is you need to make offers. Like what we've found is people click offers. So you have to make offers to your clients too.
So give me an example of some of the offers you guys would make.
Sell your home without an agent, stop paying the owner's rent, 11 inspection tips before you purchase your next home, 6 tips, so we always use.
So basically you're just taking the ads from the coaching website.
The ad generator. We just go straight ad generator.
Right.
And we just take them from there. And then we format them so that they fit to the products. And then it's the same thing. And then we drive them to a landing page where they click. So they'll click on the products, and that's how we get them. And then we obviously, it's a little more advanced, but we track that too. So we'll add a UTM code to that link.
Right.
So that we're able to track it. So we know.
So you actually know which of the offers are working the best. So you can do more of them and eliminate the other ones. So for those of you that are not, just in case there's someone watching this that's not involved with Craig Proctor Coaching, you're not a member yet, we would love to work with you. On our member site, our coaching member site, what Mark is referring to is we have something called an ad generator, where basically you click on, I'm looking for ads for either buyers or sellers or both, and all the ads come up, and you can click on, I want to run a Facebook ad, a Google ad, and all you do is you just customize, you put in your city, your name, and boom, all that content is there. So Mark is simply going to the ad generator on the coaching site, picking campaigns, tracking the offers that he's making. And in a week or so, he knows which offers are working the best. He does more of what's working and eliminates the ones that aren't working. And now in very short order, you've got a fully optimized Google My Business profile.
And the great thing about it too, Craig, is I don't want to overwhelm you in thinking, oh my gosh, look at how much other stuff I need to do. First of all, if you have an assistant, you can actually have an assistant do it. It's probably 15 minutes a day. You can get a virtual assistant to do it, but the thing is all of this stuff that a virtual assistant can do or an assistant can do, you don't need to do, but it's brought us in $100,000 this year, okay, alone. So
just your Google My Business profile, trackable, no BS, trackable to this has brought you $100,000 in GCI so far this year, like in 8 months.
Yeah. So that's what you want to think about, is how much can it do for you to bring in to Google, and what are you doing? You have to think of your Google My Business is your storefront. It is the storefront of your business. All of this is free. So all you would have to do is literally get a person to help you 15 minutes a day. Now, if you're doing YouTube videos, you just take snippets, right? We're going to snip this. We're going to put this on YouTube, and then we'll make snippets for other sites, and then we'll make a blog out of it. But virtual assistants are going to do it all. So what are Mark and I doing? This podcast with Craig is all we're doing. Then our virtual assistants will do everything else. They'll transcribe it. They'll put it everywhere. They'll break, so you don't think of this as overwhelming. Think of this actually that it can be done depending on what you want. But just with Google My Business, 15 minutes a day just to post things on Google My Business. That's it. To bring you $100,000 in business, imagine. What do you think?
Incredible.
Right?
Yeah,
but the part you can't track is how many people that came from other sources went to your Google My Business.
Yeah,
that's true.
They look you up. Like, it's probably a lot more than that. Like, in terms of, hey, I got them. Or even if they're a referral, they probably Googled you. Like,
right. It all works in conjunction with your other marketing, but at least $100,000 is attributed, trackable back to they visited your Google My Business profile and they called you.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So everybody wants that. Everyone wants more of that. And so, my job and Kristin's job as a Craig Proctor coach, and we're going to offer this to everyone. You don't have to be in Craig Proctor coaching to get it. We just, the best way for me to prove that I can help you is just to pay it forward and actually help you. Okay. So that's why I do these podcasts. What I'm hoping, of course, is people watch these and they say, you know what, I think Craig Proctor is somebody that could help me. I like this guy. I like his message. And hopefully we can do business at some point. Now, when you click through, you can also book a call with me at any time with me and my team. It's proctorcall.com, just my name, proctorcall.com. I've been doing this now for about a year and a half. We call it a breakthrough call. Why do we call it a breakthrough call? Because I believe, just like Kristin and Mark, that you're just like one thing away from making a breakthrough. One system, one strategy, it might be one team member away from making a breakthrough. When you do this call with my team and I, here's how. It's a free call, by the way, no obligation. And at the end of it, if you want to work with this, great. If not, you're going to just get a great hour of good stuff, because here's what we're going to do. We're going to identify like where you are right now in your business and where it is you want to go. Okay, so that's easy, right? You know where you are right now, and you've got a pretty good idea as to where you want to go. So the question is, well, why aren't we doing the thing that we want to do? Like, why are we not already where we want to take our business? What's holding us back? So what we do on this breakthrough call is we ask you a bunch of questions and we help determine what obstacles you have. What are the things that are holding you back? So that's a big deal right away, because sometimes agents clearly, like, they don't really clearly know what is holding them back. Sometimes they do, but quite often we ask them a few questions about, well, why do you do it this way? Have you ever thought about doing it another way? And they're like, oh my God, I've never, I just do it this way because this is the way we've always done it, right? When it's our business, we're so close to our business, we don't see other opportunities. Now, because I've worked with over 30,000 agents, I'm pretty good at asking a bunch of questions and giving you some suggestions on better ways to do the thing that you're doing, right? Or to stop doing some of the things you're doing and replace them with better strategies. So that's what the breakthrough call is about. It lasts about 45 minutes, and you would go to proctorcall.com, pick a day and a time that works best for you. Okay. And we jump on, and actually it's a call, but it's a Zoom meeting because we want to show you things and answer all your questions. And again, at the end of it, if you'd like to work with Craig Proctor on a longer term basis, I would love that. That's what I do for a living. And I think I'm pretty good at it. Kristin and Mark have had a really good experience here, and thousands of others as well, but it costs you nothing. It's just a phone call. And that's where I met Kristin and Mark. It all started off with a conversation back, I guess it was what, 10 years ago?
11.
11 years ago. And 11 years ago, honestly, they've made such leaps. I mean, they were in a bad financial spot when we met, but here's the thing. It really didn't matter like the money issue they had at the problem, because I knew they would figure it out because of who they are. I knew that this was a temporary thing, this financial struggle they had, because they were ambitious, they're smart, and they wanted to learn, and they're hardworking. And I'm so proud of where you've come in 11 years, from financially struggling and basically losing everything before you got into real estate. And even your first year or two were really tough, to today, becoming multimillionaires and owning properties all over the place. And like, think about this. Mark and I, before we got started here, he was talking about, the contractors don't show up and blah, blah, blah. Hey, these are pretty good problems to have, right? So it's better to have problems where you own all these rental and investment properties than the problems you had 11 years ago, where you were like, where am I going to live, right? So proud of everything you've done. I also want to say this, Kristin, you're an amazing coach because you're so enthusiastic. How many of you watching this right now? Let me know in the comments. Kristin she's contagious. And that is so important when you're in sales or when you're coaching and you're training people, because I always look at it this way. If you can't even get excited about what you're talking about, you're going to have a hard time getting other people excited about it. And all of us need some help in life, whether it's your personal life, your business life, we all need help. So if you're watching this right now and things aren't going well and you're frustrated, I mean, it's been COVID and people are kind of down and out. Look, you should reach out to Kristin and Mark. They're the real deal. They'll share their story with you. They have just made massive leaps and bounds, and they got some help. Okay. I helped them, and now they help me. And Kristin and Mark now help dozens of people on their team, and they've got this virtual assistant company. They've property management. It's an amazing thing that they built. So if I am in your area, I'm in Boca Raton, and I'm interested in talking to you, or maybe even joining your team, right? If I'm local, I'm interested in, hey, just even having a conversation with you. What's the best way for me to reach you, whether I'm in your marketplace or I'm anywhere in the country, and maybe I just want to say hi or verify your story that you're the real deal? What's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so they can call us at 561-221-2292. Or you can email me directly at Kristin, Kristin, at thestampiniteam.com. So the THESTAMPINI team, TEAM.com. And I'd be happy to get back to you on that.
And don't forget, everybody, in the comments below, you're going to find our bonus gifts. And this is going to go into great detail what we talked about today, how to set up your Google My Business profile and how to optimize or feed it so this thing is making money. This is like your homepage, right? This is better than anything that you could be spending time on right now to get come list me's, to get people calling you saying, hey, come on over and list my house. So you can download that in the comments below. And if you'd like to book a free breakthrough call with my team and I, it's proctorcall.com, proctorcall.com. We'll put that link below as well. So Mark and Kristin, thank you so much for doing this. And I want to thank everybody for watching the Craig Proctor Show today. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor. We'll see you all next time. Thank you.
Bye.